Imagine this for a second. You're not being yelled at. You're not being insulted. You're not even being lied to, at least not directly. Instead, she smiles. Her voice softens. And then she says four words that feel harmless, almost intimate. But something in your chest tightens anyway. Because deep down, you've heard them before. Right before confusion. Right before attachment turns one-sided. Right before you realize you were never holding the power. This isn't about hating women. This isn't about paranoia. This is about awareness. Because the most dangerous games are never announced. They're whispered. Welcome back to Female Code Unlocked. The place where attraction is stripped of fantasy and psychology replaces hope. If this kind of insight sharpens your awareness, subscribe now, because clarity is protection. Now listen closely. The first four words sound gentle, almost caring. I'm not ready yet. She says it while maintaining emotional access to you. She still texts. She still flirts, just enough. She still leans on you when she feels lonely. But not ready doesn't mean not capable. It means not willing, with you. Here's the psychology most men miss. Readiness isn't a future state, it's a selective state. When a woman truly desires a man, readiness rearranges itself. Time compresses, fear quiets, rules soften. So when she says, I'm not ready yet, but keeps you emotionally invested, you're not being rejected. You're being parked. The moment you accept that sentence without changing your behavior, you silently agree to wait. And waiting is submission disguised as patience. The correct response isn't anger. It isn't persuasion. It's withdrawal of emotional availability. You don't argue with not ready. You step back and let reality answer for you. The second four words feel even warmer. I don't want labels. This one is clever because it sounds modern, free, evolved. But psychologically, labels aren't restrictive. They're clarifying. When she says she doesn't want labels, but wants consistency, attention, affection, and loyalty, she's asking for commitment without accountability. This is where men get trapped. Because you think, if I just stay cool, she'll choose me. But choice without clarity favors the one with less emotional investment. And right now, that's her. No labels means no expectations. No expectations means no consequences. And no consequences means you absorb all the risk. What do? You don't demand a label. You stop offering relationship-level energy without structure. Because ambiguity only benefits the person least afraid to lose you. The third four words sound playful. Let's just see. This phrase is emotional fog. It suspends you in potential. Let's just see keeps hope alive without intention. It keeps you guessing, analyzing, waiting for signs. And waiting creates attachment. Because the brain bonds harder in uncertainty than in certainty. That's not romance. That's intermittent reinforcement, the same psychological mechanism used in gambling. If you stay after hearing "let's just see," you're agreeing to be shaped by her mood, not her decision. The grounded response isn't pressure, it's pace control. You slow everything down. You stop chasing outcomes. You observe actions, not words. Because people who want you don't see, they move. And the fourth four words, the most dangerous of all. You're such a friend. Those words don't mean comfort, they mean classification. In that moment, she isn't describing you. She's placing you. Friend energy is safe, predictable, non-threatening, and attraction doesn't live there. If you accept that label without adjusting, you teach her how to treat you. The mistake men make is trying to escape the box verbally, explaining, confessing, overexposing emotion. But attraction isn't argued into existence. It's felt, or it isn't. And what you do after these four-word phrases determines whether you become a memory or a lesson. Here's what separates men who get played from men who quietly flip the entire dynamic. It's not confidence tricks. It's not manipulation. It's emotional self-containment. Because the moment you react emotionally to those four words, you hand over leverage. you reveal need, and need is readable. When she says, "I'm not ready yet," and you reassure her, "Wait longer, try harder," you confirm that she can pause the relationship without losing access to you. So, instead, you become calm. Unavailable. Not dramatically, not cruelly, just less reachable. You respond slower. You stop initiating emotionally heavy conversations. You stop filling silence, not as punishment, as calibration. Human desire adjusts to absence faster than effort. When she says, "I don't want labels," and you agree while secretly hoping it changes, you're living in a contradiction, and contradictions leak energy. So you simplify. You don't demand definition. You redefine your own standards. You stop offering boyfriend behavior in a situation that refuses to name itself. No late-night emotional labor, no endless validation, no exclusivity without clarity. Not because you're bitter, but because self-respect is attractive when it's silent. When she says, "Let's just see," and you overanalyze every text, every tone shift, every emoji, you lose presence. And presence is what made her curious in the first place. So instead of seeing, you live. You stop structuring your time around potential. You stop placing her at the center of your anticipation. You become busy, not performatively, but genuinely. Your attention goes inward, then outward, to your life. And paradoxically, that's when people start watching again. Because emotional gravity pulls toward those who are already moving. And when she says, "You're such a friend," this is where most men collapse. They confess. They spill emotion like evidence. They hope honesty will reverse attraction. But attraction doesn't respond to explanations. It responds to polarity. So you don't argue the label. You accept it and change the energy. You stop over-listening. You stop being available on demand. You stop proving reliability. Not by disappearing completely, but by no longer orbiting. And here's the uncomfortable truth most won't tell you. A woman doesn't play a man who knows when to walk. She plays the man who stays hoping words will change. Because words are easy. Boundaries are expensive. Every time you hear those 4 phrases, it's not a test of patience. It's a test of self-perception. Do you see yourself as an option waiting to be chosen? Or a man who chooses where his energy goes? That decision is felt instantly, even if it's never spoken. And here's the quiet power move no one expects. You don't threaten to leave. You don't announce distance. You simply become less predictable. Not emotionally volatile, but emotionally grounded. You're warm, but not chasing. Present, but not dependent. Interested, but not investing ahead of reality. That balance forces truth to surface. Either she steps forward, or she fades. And either outcome gives you clarity. Because the goal was never to control her behavior. The goal was to control your own positioning. Men who don't get played aren't colder. They're clearer. And clarity removes you from games entirely. If this perspective shifted something in you, stay with Female Code Unlocked. Because the more you understand the emotional language behind attraction, the less power confusion has over you. And once confusion disappears, so does manipulation.